Aces and deuces, deuces and aces. We hope they turn up in just the right places on Card Shark. And here's the host of Card Shark, Jim Perry.
I think terrific. And also very terrific is this opening poem. I really like this, and we thank Mrs. Doreen Barber of Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you for sending in that opening poem. Now let's get to the board. Janice and Bettina, if you will, load in the cards, and as you can see, we have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Chris Cuba, our champion. Hi, Chris. That's a pretty blouse.
Well, thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Would you remind us about yourself?
Yes, my name is Chris Cuba, and right now I'm a student at San Diego State University, where I'm majoring in civil engineering and minoring in anthropology.
How did you decide to minor in anthropology, of all things?
I don't know. You have to take something with all that chemistry and physics to keep sane,
Just
so it's fun. I enjoy it.
Good. And you're doing well here. You've won $1,600
Yes.
in cash, right?
Yes.
Our challenger, Gary Snyder. Hi, Gary. Good to see you again.
Yes.
And would you remind us about yourself?
My name is Gary Snyder, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I came out here to Bakersfield, California, and I've got a degree in golf course technology.
Now, we talked about that briefly,
Yes.
but what do you study when you're studying golf course technology?
Well, we specialize in the golf course itself, irrigation, golf course construction, pesticides, insects, weeds, and diseases,
there's a lot-
landscaping.
There's a lot involved. I didn't
Yes,
realize
sir,
that.
there is.
Yeah, good.
Instead of going to a 4-year college, we go to a 2-year college.
Could you do something about my lawn, Gary?
Sure.
Wait, okay. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Each player has a deck of 52 playing cards. They are shuffled. The players cut them before we go on the air, and the upper cards, the red cards, will be played by the champion, Chris. The lower cards, the blue cards, to be played by the challenger, Gary. Before he can begin to call high-low on the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. Chris needs 1 card, Gary needs 3, and we are at sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. So the first game in the best 2 out of 3 match comes right down to this. As we left off, Gary, the question goes to you. We asked 100 marriage counselors, who usually has more problems in her marriage, a housewife or a woman who has a job outside the home? How many marriage counselors said a housewife has more problems in her marriage?
That's a pretty tough question. And the way women are liberated today, I'm going to have to say it's going to be a very small percentage, or small number of women. I'm going to say about 15.
Gary says that 15 housewives have more problems.
I think it's a lot higher than that, because I think a housewife would tend to be more closed-minded while her husband's out working. I think it's higher.
You say higher?
Right.
Well, if it is higher, Chris, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be Gary. And the actual number of marriage counselors who said a housewife has more problems in her marriage is 67, Chris. Wow.
Yeah.
Sudden death,
We have
Chris.
problems.
You need 1 card to win. Gary needs 3. Do you want to play it or pass it?
A 9's not a very good card at all. I'm going to let Gary play it.
And Gary, you didn't win the question, so you cannot change the 9. You must play it and call all 3 correct for the win. 1 mistake, Chris wins. Call the first card.
I'm going lower. Gotta
Lower
go
than a 9. No, right away. It's higher. It's a 10. And Chris, in sudden death, wins the first game of the match. 1-0 in favor of the champion. She put the pressure on you. Gary's got to make a comeback right after we take time out for this. Can he do it? We'll find out. And the first game of the match to the champion. Let's deal out the cards. Same 2 decks of cards. You can remember what's been played. It might help. Chris.
Yes.
We asked 100 married women, if your best friend told you that she saw your husband at lunch with a beautiful woman, would you automatically assume he was guilty? How many women said they would automatically assume their husband was guilty?
I don't know if I'm typical, but I would automatically assume. I'm going to say 60.
60 would say he's guilty, Gary.
I think women are just as guilty of being jealous as men are. So I'm going to say a little bit higher.
Even higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of married women who, if their husband had lunch with a beautiful woman, would automatically assume he was guilty is 23. Not higher at all. Chris. You gotta have faith. Chris, your base card is a 2.
Yeah. That's a great card. The next card's got to be higher.
Higher than a 2? Yeah, an ace. Wow.
Lower.
Lower than an ace. It is a 10.
I've got it freeze.
Freezing it there. We move the freeze bar over. Can't take those cards away from you. She needs just 2 more cards, Gary, for the championship. To you, Gary, we asked 100 showgirls at the Tropicana and Dunes hotels in Las Vegas, Nevada. Have you changed your hair color within the past year? How many showgirls said they had changed their hair color within the past year?
In the last year, I'm going to say about 50.
50. Half of them have changed their hair color.
I don't think changing your hair color is as fashionable as it used to be. I'm going to say it's a lot lower than that.
A lot lower than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of Las Vegas showgirls who changed their hair color within the past year is 64. Not lower, Gary. Wow.
About time.
And that all-important base card. Gary, you've got a 5. Do you want it?
I'm going to change that 5.
You won the question. You have the right to change it to a king.
That's a good card. I'm going to go lower with that.
Lower than a king? Yes, with a 5.
I've got to go higher with that 5.
Risking the 5 in this one higher? And it is with a jack.
Jack. I've got to go. I'm going to go lower with that jack.
Lower than a jack. Yes,
Very good
3.
card. I'm going all the way.
To tie
I'm
up
going
the match.
higher.
Higher than a 3. Oh, no! And he loses all 4 cards. Oh, Chris, a chance to play off the 10 and call this.
It's got to be lower than a 10.
Lower than a 10. It is a 7.
I've got to freeze.
Needing just 1 card for the championship. And Gary, we got to fill them all back in again. To you, Chris. We asked 100 13-year-old girls, do you think it's okay to kiss on the first date? How many 13-year-old girls said yes, it was okay to kiss on the first date?
I'd say quite a few these days. I think about 69.
69 say yes, 13-year-olds kissing, Gary.
I think the younger generation is becoming a little more understanding of our laws and everything. I think it's going to be a little bit higher.
Even higher than
Yes.
that. The actual number of 13-year-old girls who think it's okay to kiss on the first date is 78. It's higher, Gary.
That's good. Let's try it one more time. We're going to go lower.
Lower than the king once again. No.
This isn't...
Cards did not like you, and Chris, a big chance for you to play off the 7 and call this.
I'm going to go higher.
If this is higher, Chris has the championship, and she'll play the money cards for the win. No. Couldn't take advantage of it. Chris still needs just 1 card, and we're at sudden death. Gary, we asked 100 married men, have you ever kissed your wife's feet? There's a name for that, isn't there? How many men said yes, they had kissed their wife's feet?
I'm just going to have to
I mean
say,
literally, rather than just the paycheck.
I don't know. I'd rather kiss somewhere else than her feet. I'm going to... I'll tell you. I'm going to say about 10.
10.
Yes.
Much more than that. I think a lot more guys get
The idea appeals to you, huh, Chris? You say higher.
more than 10.
The actual number of married men who said they've kissed their wife's feet is 42. Chris.
I know it.
Chris, again, you need 1 card. Gary needs them all. What are you going to do?
Got to give it to Gary.
Oh, that's good.
Gary, you've been down this
I'll
route
tell you,
before.
I've got to get it. So I'm
One
gonna
mistake and it's all over now.
I know.
Where are you going?
I'm going lower.
Lower than a king. You're 1/4 there with an 8.
I'm going to go lower again.
Lower than an 8. No, it's a queen, and Chris wins it in sudden death. Oh. Gary, those cards didn't like you.
They sure did.
I hope you had fun.
I did. I enjoyed it.
Good luck with the golf course, Gary.
Thank you, Chris.
Gary Snyder. Thank you, Gary. Chris, come on down here with me. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris will play the money cards right after we take time out for this. Back with our champion, Chris Kruber, with $1,800. Are you ready to clean up now?
I'm ready. I'm going to clean up.
Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Chris. Chris, you just won $200 in the game. Yours to keep. Now with a brand new deck of cards all shuffled and cut, we're going to give you new money to play with, and this time you're going to bet that money. Starting on the bottom line, we'll give you $200 in these 3 cards. Your decision how you bet them. Move up to the second level, another $200 in betting money and 3 more cards. Your minimum bets always are $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must bet at least half the money. Chris, I want you to make a fortune now. Let's pay for that college education right now. Here's $200. And as in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards on the bottom level. Remember, you can change your base card when you move up to the second level. And again, you can change the base card before you make the big bet. And we'll start off with an 8.
I'd like to change that 8.
Right up the middle.
Don't
I
want it.
can't say as I blame you. You got to play this one. I hope it's a good change. It is a 3. Very much a good change.
$200 higher.
Right away, the whole thing. $200 higher than a 3. And she's right with a 7. $400 now, but you're looking in the middle card.
$100 higher.
$100 bet on the 7. Higher. Yes, with a 9. Still flirting around the middle, but $500.
$100 that it's lower than a 9.
$100 lower than a 9. Yes, with a 4. Up to $600. We move the 4 up. We give you another $200. You've got
That's
$800.
a great card. I'm going to keep it. It's a good low card. I'm going to bet $700 that it's higher than a 4.
Wow, $700 higher than a 4. I hope you're right for $700 bet. Yes, great. $1,500, but now you've got that middle card an 8, Chris.
$100 that it's higher. We got to see some face cards.
Yeah, we don't see any face cards here at all. So $100 higher than an 8. That's a little better. Sorry we couldn't give you a face card, Chris. You don't mind the ace, do you?
$1,600 lower.
The whole thing, $1,600 bet. All or nothing lower than an ace. Yes, $3,200. We move the jack up. Chris, do you want to play that or change it?
I've got to play it.
You must bet $1,600, Chris.
I'm going to bet everything that it's lower than a jack.
I hope you're right. You will have nothing or $6,400 if this is lower than a jack. No. How come you bet it all on the jack?
It's a nice high card.
There are 4 queens, 4 kings, and 4 aces, and 3 more jacks. That's 15 cards, Chris.
I know. I'm a bad person.
No, it just cost you some money, but maybe you'll do it again. Come on down here, Chris. You're a gambler. What the heck? It's only money, right?
That's right. Only money.
Chris will meet a new challenger right after this commercial break. Back with our champion, Chris Kuba. We were all having a post-mortem here about that big bet during the break, and somebody mentioned that what would happen, the jack looks good as a face card. If you had looked at a 5, would you have thought about changing that?
No.
Now you would have played a 5, because
No,
of course
I
that's the
would've played
same
the
card on
5.
the other side.
I know it. You don't think about those things.
No.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's a big bet, though. Okay, maybe you get a chance to do it again. Okay, Chris, time to defend the title. Janice is dealing out 2 brand new decks of cards, and here comes a new challenger on Card Sharks. Dick Lawrence. Hi, Dick.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Tell us about yourself, if you will, sir.
My name is Dick Lawrence, and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm in the travel business, and I sell Scottsdale.
You sell Scottsdale.
I sell Scottsdale.
How expensive is Scottsdale?
It's just I try to get corporate groups and convention groups to use Phoenix and Scottsdale as their next place for
yes,
their
a lot
convention.
of cities are doing that now. Sounds like fascinating work. How are you making out? You're selling Scottsdale easily?
Pretty good. It's a pretty good place to come.
Good.
I like it.
Good to have you here, Dick. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards. Chris, the upper cards, the red cards. Start always with a question to the champion. Chris, we took a poll of 100 men and asked them, when you're nude and you look at yourself in the mirror, are you disappointed with what you see? How many men admitted they were disappointed?
You've got to be kidding. Too many egotists running around. 25.
25 are disappointed, Dick.
Now, when men look at themselves in the mirror, they got to feel good to themselves. Got to be higher.
You say, how many men admitted they were disappointed?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So she said 25 admitted they were disappointed.
Lower.
You say lower.
I'm sorry.
All
Lower.
right.
Lower. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just want to clarify your answer?
I'm sorry.
I never have that problem because when I look at all these muscles, the actual number of men who were disappointed when they see themselves in the nude is 18. It's lower, Dick. Yes. That ego comes out. Richard, you're looking at a 2.
Next card's going to be higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes, with an 8.
Gotta freeze.
Freeze it right there with a card up the middle, and that keeps Chris away from her cards. Dick, we asked 100 third-grade children in Billings, Montana, would you like to be a baby again? How many third graders said they would like to be a baby again? Fascinating question.
They're in a time of their life that age is, fourth graders are better than third graders and such. I would say 80%. 80.
Ah. Hey, no, how many would like to be a baby?
How many would like to be a
Yes,
baby?
how many wanted to be a baby?
I said 20.
20.
20.
He does good math, Chris. Think he can be an engineer?
I'm going to say even lower than that. I don't think very many of them would want to be a baby again. Lower.
The actual number of third graders who said they would like to be a baby again is 37, not lower. Dick. That is a surprisingly high number, yes. Dick, you're looking at an 8. You won the question. You can change it.
Change that. Gotta
Changing
change
it
that.
to another 8.
I'm going higher.
Right up the middle, he says higher, and he's right with a 9.
And I'm going to freeze.
Freezing
right
it there, one card at a time, says Dick. But of course, again, you kept Chris away. Chris, we asked 100 women a ridiculous question. If you woke up one morning and found you've been changed into a man, who would you rather be, Henry Winkler or Henry Kissinger? How many women said they would rather be Henry Winkler? The Fonz.
I would much rather be Henry Winkler. I think 80.
80 would rather be Winkler than Kissinger, Dick.
I'm going to have to say even higher because I agree.
Higher than that. The actual number of women who would rather be Henry Winkler than Henry Kissinger is 68. It's not higher, Chris. Now you get a chance to play your cards, and you've got a 3.
Good card. Higher.
Higher than a 3. Oh no, another 3. And a break for Dick to play off the 9 and call this.
Lower.
Lower than a 9. Yes, with a 4.
I'm going to go for it higher.
Higher than a 4 for the first game in the match. It is a queen. He did it. Game 1 to the challenger. Let's set up for game 2, Janice, if you will. You were thinking of holding back on that 4, Dick.
Well, a lot of things go through your mind up here, I'll tell you.
All right. Same 2 decks of cards. Here come the cards. And, Dick, the question to you. We asked 100 married women, have you ever lied and told an attractive man you were single? How many married women admitted that they had?
Talking about ego again. I am going to say 40.
We may be talking about other things, or we could be talking about ego.
No,
40 have lied, saying they were single, Chris.
I hope there are more honest women running around than that. I'm going to say it's a lot lower than 40.
It's interesting, Dick. You called it ego, she called it running around. That's curious. The actual number of married women who have told an attractive man they were single is 18. That's lower. Chris. Chris, you need this game to tie up the match, and you start with a 2.
Good card. Higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes, very much higher. A king.
Gotta go lower.
Lower than a king. It is a 10.
A freeze.
Freezing it as Chris needs 2 cards to tie up the match. And the question to you, Chris. We asked 100 United States congressmen in Washington, D.C., do you think handguns should be banned for private citizens? How many congressmen said handguns should be banned for private citizens?
Oh, boy. That's such a big issue right now. I would say 35.
35
think very
congressmen
many.
want to ban handguns for private citizens, Dick.
I agree with her a little bit, but I'm going to have to play the odds and go higher.
You say higher.
Yes.
The actual number of congressmen who think handguns should be banned for private citizens is 20, not higher, Chris. Wow, that is a surprisingly
I'd like to change that
low
10.
number to me, too. Chris, you want to change the 10, and you change it to another 10.
Seen an awful lot of low cards. I'll go lower.
Seen an awful lot of lowers, but you're still going to go lower.
I'm still going lower.
Going with the odds lower than a 10. She's back with a 2.
Higher.
Higher than a 2 to tie up the match. Yes, with a 7, and we got a tie. Chris with 1 game and $100. Dick with 1 and 100. And we are going to take time out right now. We're not going to take time out. We're going to set up for the tiebreaker with just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. And Dick, the question goes to you as we slide over the bar there with just 3 cards and 3 questions. Dick, we asked 100 corporate executives. These men are the heads of some of the country's largest corporations. Do you have a picture of your wife on your desk at work? How many corporate executives did have a picture of their wife on the desk at work?
My experience would say an awful lot of them do, and I'm going to say 80%.
80 of them. Chris?
I see it in the movies all the time, but I think it's going to be a little lower than that.
You say lower.
Right.
The actual number of corporate executives who have a picture of their wife on their desk at work is 38. Very much lower. Chris?
Okay.
Your base card in the tiebreaker is a 3. You
Good
can't
card.
have your base
Higher.
card. Higher than a 3. Yes, no jack.
Gotta go. Lower.
For the championship, lower than a jack. Yeah. She's done it again. Chris, Dick, congrats. Dick, thank you for joining us. Good luck. We'll be right back right after this commercial message. Chris will go for the money when next we meet on Card Sharks. Bye-bye for now.
One of our polling groups will receive Morse Electrophonic Studio Series, a contemporary music center AM/FM stereo 8-track tape player and automatic record changer furnished by Morse Electrophonic. And some of our contestants will receive a Blue Luster shampoo or a new Blue Luster Plus carpet shampoo with grease cutters and brightness to remove ground-in dirt and grime. And Amarok's new decorating accents for the bath in a popular traditional style. Amarok, a leader in fine decorative hardware. And Serta's perfect sleeper mattress and exclusive Serta Lock Foundation provides firm support where you need it, luxurious comfort where you want it. Perfect Sleeper by Serta. And Eureka's new ESP Extra Suction Power Vacuum. 50% more power, more beating, brushing, and cleaning action. 6-way height adjustment furnished by Eureka. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production.